So it's 2025 and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to pursue that new job, get that new opportunity. But where do I start? When I first decided it was time for a change after 13 years, I didn't quite know where to start, but I knew LinkedIn was a powerful networking tool. And so I was like, let me check this out. And so I already had a LinkedIn profile, but I barely used it. One of the things that I noticed was that my colleagues, while my leaders, were very active on it. They were always making posts and sharing wins that they had with their teams. And they were always getting a lot of recognition, not only from the leaders in our company, but from other companies as well. And so I decided to review how my leaders' profiles were laid out. I paid close attention to the type of content they were sharing, and then I decided to emulate it. And once I did that and turned on a few settings, I started constantly getting recruiters in my DMs. And so that's what we're going to discuss here today. I'm going to run you guys through a little 12-step program of how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. So step 1. First things first, you want to have a really great profile picture. You want to choose a high quality professional headshot if you have one. If you've ever had professional pictures taken, then you could definitely pull from that. However, you don't want to have blurry photos or cropped images where you're like, my buddy's on my side here, my sister's over here, and then I'm in the middle, and yeah, I'll just take this picture of my head and I'll post it up there. No, that is not a good look. However, that's not to say a cell phone selfie can't work. That's actually what I did. I snapped a selfie. I thought it looked really good. I was like, okay, I'm feeling this picture. I popped it into Canva. I removed the background and then I just added some blue and boom, I've got myself a nice profile picture ready for LinkedIn. And the cool thing about utilizing Canva is they actually have templates for all of these type of things too, so that you get your measurements just right and you can make little customizations or edits as you want. It's a super user-friendly program. You guys have heard me talk about it multiple times. So again, check out Canva. I love it. Also keep in mind that your profile picture could actually help represent your industry as well. So for instance, maybe you're a professional chef and you have one of those white chef hats and those white jackets that they typically wear, or maybe you're a beautician or a hairstylist and you really show off just how nice you can make your hair be with your profile picture. Just some ideas, but it's cool to get creative to show off your industry, but still keep it professional. Also, remember to take your picture in good lighting and then smile. It helps you seem more approachable. And then step 2, we have your LinkedIn banner. So again, this is another picture. It goes at the top of the page. When I wasn't working and I was on the job hunt, I like to use this banner to highlight the industry that I was aiming to work in. And you know what I'm going to say, right? Canva has templates for this as well. So hop in there, take a look at a template. It'll make sure you get the dimensions correctly and you're able to make a nice professional banner. You can actually use this banner as a calling card. So for instance, if you design websites, you could put your name and then you could put down some contact information like an email address. And then in the banner part, you can highlight the type of websites and design that you do. And then we've got step 3, the headline. Your headline isn't just your job title though. It's kind of your elevator pitch. It's one of the first things that a visitor sees when they come to your page. Keep it light, but you should use strong keywords that describe what you do and the value that you bring. On mine, I kept it a bit basic. It says MSP sales manager, sales development representative, and experienced store manager. It highlights 3 of the areas that I have extensive experience in. And keywords here are important because it can help recruiters and hiring managers find you more easily. And then step 4 is your about summary, which I feel is a really critical piece. Your summary is like a mini biography about who you are professionally, as well as your work journey and things you've accomplished. You should highlight some of your top skills, your achievements, and the goals that you hope to accomplish in the work that you do. Don't just list job titles. Really paint the picture of how you've made an impact. However, you don't want to just ramble on and on about, I started here when I was 18, then I worked here when I was 25, then when I was 30, I did this. That's a little bit too much. You want to keep it short, but concise and to the point. I recommend using short paragraphs for easy readability. And then step 5 is where you really get into it, highlighting your experience. Your experience section should really highlight your career journey. And it's important to list measurable results. Don't just say something like, I worked at such and such company and I was a store manager. That's just going to draw crickets. No. What I recommend is that you break down what you did in the role into well-defined bullet points. And the cool thing is, you have 2,000 characters per job entry, so I recommend you use them wisely. I've always made my job experience reflect my resume, but with more detail. And then step 6 is going to be adding your education. Drop in any schools you went to, the degrees you've gotten, the certifications. Also, if you're a recent graduate, you can also add in things like extracurricular activities or leadership roles that you held while you were on campus. This is also where you want to list if you went to a boot camp like CareerStrats. It allows you to upload a certificate straight to the page, and it really draws a lot of attention. When recruiters were reaching out to me, they were always like, tell me more about CareerStrats. What is this? It looks like you've gotten training on all the things that we're looking for this role. And then number 7, licenses and certifications. So if you've been certified to, be an electrician, or you've gotten certifications in things like C++, this is a great place to highlight that because it just helps add to your credibility. Number 8 is to showcase your skills. These could range from technical skills like proficiencies in Microsoft Office or Google Suite, or you could even highlight your soft skills like team building and morale boosting. I also encourage you to get your colleagues to endorse your skills. And speaking of colleagues, that leads us to number 9. Recommendations are cool because in many ways, they're like little testimonials specifically about you. In a way, they're like referrals. When viewing your profile, it's honestly one of the first places that hiring managers and recruiters look. If a former coworker or colleague has some great things to say about you and the strengths and the value that you provided to their life when you work together, that's just going to help things even more. So definitely ask for those recommendations. And now we get to the fun part. Number 10, make friends. You definitely want to start with people you know or have worked with in the past. And don't just limit yourself to your current job either. Think about anyone that you've had a positive experience with that you've worked with over the course of time. And building your network is extremely important due to LinkedIn's 3 degrees of separation, which I talk about in this video. So, say you want to work at a company like Google, and you know Marty. Marty works at Google. Awesome. And you make a post and you're like, hey, this is John. I recently left such and such company. However, I'm a really skilled website developer. Here's some examples of my work. If you know anyone hiring, please let me know. And as an old coworker of mine used to say, here's the secret sauce. Your buddy Marty here liked your post. And because he liked your post, now that post appears in all of his connections' feed, their page. And Marty just happened to be friends with his manager on LinkedIn. His manager saw your post and he's like, man, this guy is good. So now he likes your post. And can you guess what's going to happen next? Everyone in that manager's network is now going to see your post as well on their feed. And then all of a sudden, the manager's director takes notice of your post and they're like, hey, I'm hiring for a web designer. And so they reach out to you, they send you a DM, and just like that, you're in the interview process. Now, I'm just being optimistic, but this has happened for people. I have read about it countless times on my feed where, hey, I reached out to so-and-so, or I made a post about such and such. Next thing I know, a recruiter contacted me, I got the job. So don't count that out. In Course Careers, they teach you to get to 500 plus connections as fast as possible, but be smart about it. Don't just send random connections, send a message first so they know who you are and why you're wanting to connect. And then tip number 11, which has actually helped me quite a bit, stay active by posting at least once or twice a week. Make posts providing value, motivation, or even just sharing your journey as you hunt for that next opportunity. People love it. And definitely get involved. The name of the game is networking here. There are a ton of leaders on LinkedIn that host webinars and so forth where, they have a guest and they're speaking to them, but underneath that webinar is a chat section. And so all the people that are viewing it are usually interacting, they're asking questions, they're talking amongst each other, and they're getting acquainted with other people in the field just like you. You never know where a connection like that could lead. And liking and commenting on other people's posts is just as important as well. Celebrate wins and promotions. Offer them support when bad things happen. It could really go a long way, and you never know what it could mean to someone else. And then tip number 12, and this one's more to keep you out of trouble, is to make sure you pay attention to your company's policies around social media. Some organizations have guidelines about what you can and can't share online. So protect your professional reputation by staying in line with what you post, your company's rules, and how you represent not only yourself, but also the company that you're working for. So let's recap. Step 1, have a professional profile picture. Step 2, add a LinkedIn banner. Step 3, craft a powerful LinkedIn headline. Step 4, write a compelling summary. And I also want to encourage you guys, don't just use ChatGPT to write you a summary, make it personal because people value realism. So really think about that. Then number 5, highlight your work experience. Number 6, add in your education. Number 7, get in your licenses and your certs. Number 8, showcase your skills. Number 9, get those recommendations. Number 10, build your network. Extremely important. Number 11, post regularly. And then number 12, be mindful of your company's policies when it comes to social media. So that's my advice for optimizing your LinkedIn profile in 2025 to help you get the job. By following this 12-step program, you're going to have a LinkedIn profile that is ready for success. What are some of your top tips for successfully networking on LinkedIn? Would love to hear about them in the comments below. Next week, we're going to cover job hunting on LinkedIn, so subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss it, and I'll see you on the next one.